All right, it's like January 29th, and luckily for us, we've had a couple of warm days of weather. The fishing has been so weird the last few weeks, but I came out yesterday. Of course, I didn't shoot anything and had an awesome day, and fish were back up shallow again, or at least they were moving up shallow. They weren't super shallow in the morning. It's about 7 o'clock right now, 7 a.m. and we're gonna go out here. Just pulled up to our first spot and see what these fish are doing over here. Started catching them again on a DOA. You know, one of my favorite baits to fish, especially whenever the fish are up shallow. We had been catching them with this Z-Man, like ball tail type deal. Been throwing this golden chartreuse, and I was doing pretty good on that when the water was super cold. But that's definitely not my favorite style of fishing. I'd rather fish for these shallow fish. Catch bigger ones. Plus they just hit it so much harder too. Like whenever you throw that jig way out there, I mean, you catch a lot of fish, you catch a lot of small fish doing it, but you just don't catch the quality. And yesterday probably had 3 limits of keepers, and our biggest was probably about 21-22 inches. It's nothing real big, but not too bad of a day either. So I'm just getting my stuff rigged up this morning. Figure I'd come out here first thing and see if I can't do pretty good right off the bat. All right, so let's see what happens. It was a little bit cool last night, so I don't know if maybe something happened. I don't know, maybe the fish could potentially be backed off this morning. Like I said, it was kind of chilly last night. It's pretty mild this morning, probably mid to upper 60s, and wind's blowing pretty good. Got a low tide right now. It should be coming in all day, and it's probably going to rush in pretty hard today because we got a pretty good southeast wind this morning. So usually whenever we get a southeast wind, that tide jumps up whenever it starts to come up. So just have to fish down through here and see if we can find any. These fish move so much. Oh, there was one. That one didn't really thump it though either. He just kind of grabbed it. There he is. Oh, lost him right at the boat, man. Yeah, had a couple bites on that cast, so that's good. Oh man, oh my goodness. Oh my God. Lost one. As soon as it came out of his mouth, another one popped it. Let's get it back out there again. That's not exactly where I wanted to throw, but that's okay. So we're sitting in like 5 foot of water, and the tide's coming in. We got the wind blowing in with us too, and we're right on the edge of a bar. So those fish get like right there on the edge of that bar with that current pushing in, and they'll kind of follow bait fish up here. It's a real easy spot for them to kind of be on the lookout for bait fish and ambush bait fish and stuff. So whenever this water warms up like it has over the past week or so, it makes everything much more active. Last week I was catching them in 10 to 15 foot of water, and those fish were just kind of staying there in those spots. The bait fish was kind of hunkered down in those spots as well, so we were just kind of able to drift around some of those holes and kind of pick a few off. But whenever you do that, man, there's just so many small fish that you have to go through to catch the bigger ones. Gonna cast right here along the edge of this flat out here this way. And there's one little guy. Yeah, that's the first one we put in the boat, smallest one we've hooked, so little guy. Feel like as the sun gets up more, probably have a little bit more action. Like I said, last night it was pretty cool. Probably low 50s or so, but it was a pretty chilly low 50s. Oh, there's a decent fish. Yeah. Might be a redfish. I don't know. He hasn't come up yet. Oh, it's a nice trout. Real nice trout. See if we can get him in the boat. There he is. Look at how he choked that. I mean, just absolutely choked that thing. Got him right in the top of the mouth. Let's see how big this one is. This one's almost 19 inches long, y'all. Look how nice and fat and healthy that fish is. Oh. Go ahead and throw him back. All right. One keeper. So what I'm making sure that I'm doing, I'm fishing it really, really slow. And probably a little bit slower than I normally fish it, honestly. Trying to let it go drift pretty much down to the bottom. And once it gets there, I just kind of drag my rod. Make sure that, you know, I'm fishing it really slow because they're not super active right now. I mean, they're wanting to eat, so they're aggressive, but you got to get it in front of their faces. And like I said, they're just kind of cruising around anyways. Dang. A little bit of sunlight coming up. Out here earlier today than I normally am. Thought it'd be really good right here at daylight. There's another one. Little guy. He's probably actually still a keeper. Let's measure him just to see. We're not keeping any fish today, but yeah, he's 16 inches. Another keeper. 16.5-inch fish. Keeper number 3. I'll catch 2 more fish, and then I'm going to try a different bait that I haven't gotten to really try for these shallow fish. So we'll see how good that works too. Just fan casting out here and trying to hit these groups of fish as they kind of run these bars and flats. Like I said, I don't really think they're up on the flats yet. I think maybe later in the day, as it warms up a little bit more, they'll get up there, but I think right now they're still on the edge of them. I'll try to throw on the back side of this bar right here behind the boat where it drops off a little bit. That current will be going over the bar too, so he's on and fish the edge of it around this way a little bit, see what happens. This flat kind of extends out way up here. Little guy. That little guy. Go a little bit further out on this flat. This flat goes out a good ways and then it just drops straight off pretty much, and those fish, they'll get right on the edge of it. Right where that drop off is. God dang it. That edge is somewhere right over there where I just cast at. Just trying to work that edge. Somewhere in there. Let it sink down to the bottom. Kind of work it back, and that wind's making this drift, so it's helping kind of keep that bait drifting as well. cast out here. I know that drop off's got to be right in there somewhere. So I'm looking for that drop off where it goes from like 5 foot down to that 10 or 12 foot area, and that seems to be where the fish have been here lately. Just kind of cruising through there, you know. Just had one thump it really, really hard. Another one. Nope. That one didn't make it to the boat. That one's kind of small anyways. Now this guy might as well just jump in the damn boat with me here. further out, and then swing back in. So now we're sitting in like 5.9. And just right over there is like 15 foot, so. Come a little bit further out on this on this flat here. Or out further on the edge of it. And here in a second, I'm going to go a little bit further up into the flat. There's a couple of holes up there. I'm going to go up there and check those out. Just kind of see if there's any up there, or if they've kind of backed out today, you know, overnight. Caught a few out here, but definitely not eating it up. Not thick, that's for sure. There's definitely a lot more bait fish activity here yesterday morning, but we didn't have any wind yesterday morning. Sometimes you just have to fan cast around, and you'll start noticing different areas where where you get bit more than others. So every time you go fishing, you need to kind of pay attention. And if you're catching fish in the same spot, you know, like let's say you pull up to a spot and you make a cast, and that cast has produced multiple times before, then you know there's something to that one particular angle or spot or cast or whatever. All right, well, we're back in it again now. Couldn't believe that battery died so quick. So we're gonna ease on through here, go up into this flat. Now there's a couple little holes up here that sometimes will hold a few fish. But what I was saying before my battery died is pay attention to where you guys are catching fish at, you know, regardless of if it's off the bank, in a kayak, a boat, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Just pay attention to where, you know, if you start noticing patterns of where you're catching fish at, that's usually a sign of something, you know, there's something there, like there's like a little bar, a little contour or something. And I picked that up bass fishing. You know, there's just certain spots that if you make the right cast, you're gonna catch a fish almost every time. And trout fishing's the same way. I mean, these fish, they're predatory. They like to ambush. So if you start fishing and you start noticing patterns like that, that's something to keep in mind for sure. Because there's a reason to it, you know. Now sometimes fishing can be just, you know, kind of scattered or whatever, but you know, you can just make a random cast and catch a fish. But also with some of these spots, there's a reason why they're actually there, you know. So Super shallow there today. Kicking up dirt, mud up off the bottom already. They're right down the edge of this little channel here. See if any's sitting there on that little drop off. Just a little dredge channel here. Goes from like, I guess 2 foot to 4 foot. But even something like this will hold fish. So well, they're definitely not way up here. They haven't shown me that they're way up here yet, so go ease back out a little bit, make a few more casts up here. Sometimes you'll have that lone one that's sitting up there in 2 foot of water by itself, and it's usually a big one, so you also got a chance to catch some redfish up there as well. So they're on those real hard banks. So make a few casts and then we'll ease back out to the edge. And we'll go check some more spots out. Hope this thing's not squeaking as bad as it was. Oh, Jesus. It's still squeaking. Oh, yeah. Tried to put some oil around where I know it's squeaking at, but not working. I have to just take it apart. It's the collar that engages the anti-reverse, engages the gears in the Anti-reverse bearings. That's, oh, there's one. Y'all, oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. This is a freaking snook. I have never caught a snook before. Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure that's a snook. I'm almost positive. Wow. Let's get him back. That's cool. That's really cool. Wow. And we got it on video. Holy crap. So I don't know, with the hurricanes and then all the bait fish, I don't know if that maybe had something to do with, you know, some of these fish, some of these different types of fish coming up this year. Feels like a decent fish. Yeah, it's not a bad fish. Nice keeper. Maybe not a keeper. Look like a keeper. But he had all trebles in him. All three. Let's measure that one. Oh, he's really close. He's borderline keeper. I mean, I'm not keeping fish, but just for number purposes. So I literally just pulled up to this other spot. Of course, I didn't turn my camera on. And first cast, I catch a little keeper trout. So I got to the camera while I was reeling it in, luckily. Now this spot here, you can get to it from the bank. No problems here. You could have caught that fish in the bank, no problem. Some of these fish have moved up pretty shallow. Like I said last week, man, you had to get way up in the darn, or way down in those holes to catch those fish. And you had to weed out so many small ones just to get it to a big fish. Still catching keepers. I mean, I was catching 6, 7, 8 keepers a day, you know, in like a little 3-hour trip or something, but it just seems like those bigger fish are a lot easier to find and catch whenever they're up shallower like this. There's one. Uh-oh. Boy, oh boy. Got all over my stuff. Let's see. Yep, 15 and a half. Oop. My release sucks. That guy's full of energy. Good God. I think that's like keeper number 6 or 7. We've been out here for an hour and a half. That's not too bad. Running straight at us. I think it's a pretty good fish. Oh, nice flounder. Look at that. Nice flounder. There he is. Drilled it that time. That looks like that's a keeper, or really close to it, one of the two. I think he's a keeper. I think he's about 16. 15 3/4, so pretty close to 16. I think that's either 7 or 8, one of the two. So definitely stick to the main part of the bayou. Just fish the little flats and things off to the side of it. At least that's what I'm getting out of today. So we're casting about 3 foot of water, 4 foot of water, and we're sitting in 7. And that's usually, that right there where I just threw at, that's usually, if they're there, it's usually a bite at least. So, I don't know. Hey, we're in all the other spots that we pretty much, there's one little guy. I say that, Jesus. Oh, look at that. Another nice flounder. Man, some really nice flounder today, guys. Tell y'all what, it's almost crappie fishing time too. We're gonna be taking some trips up to North Mississippi. I like to do a lot of wade fishing in March and April. So we're gonna go up there in about another month and a half or so, and we're gonna start making some trips up there. Nice redfish. Big boy red. Whew. Good God. I have to get the net out for this one. I can't do nothing with him. See if I can get him in the boat. This is a small net too. I cannot get his head. There we go. All right. You want to talk about a beautiful redfish, y'all. Just wait till you get to see him. All right, easy. I'll try to pop this bait out of his mouth first. He just mangled my DOA. Look at that guy. Pretty blue tail, big black dot, big fat belly. Go ahead and throw it back. Let me see if I can get this hook out. I mean, just absolutely tore all my stuff up. But it's all right. He was fun. All right. Let's throw him back.